Hello everyone, and welcome back to part 2 of the rating all the levels by their difficulty series. And let me just tell you a story, because I want to make this episode brief. Imagine, you were trying to upload the full video of this for 9 hours, and then your friend sends you too many memes, and your upload fails when it's 80% done. Yeah, that's my life. So, today we're going to be only doing part 2 to compromise. Part 3 will literally be out tomorrow, hopefully. So you get 2 in 1, essentially. I'm so sorry about the delay, but I really can't afford to have these hour-long videos. Today will just be the rest of the A tier levels, so let's get started with our 31st place. Starting off with the best of the worst, 31st place, we have Mechanical Power. It's a very slow ball speed, I think one of the slowest in the game, and it managed just to make everything work, I'd say, pretty well. Now, as for deco and everything, we'll talk more about the gameplay mechanics of this level set when we get to Steam Era in tomorrow's video. So I'll talk more about that tomorrow. But as for this level, I'm going to talk a lot about its route, because I feel like that's what kind of makes this level distinct. Not really, it's deco, because it's the same as Steam Era. As for its route, it's pretty good. There are some moments, and specifically in crown routes and mostly gem routes here, that I feel it could have been improved on, especially with the fast swipiness of a slow ball speed level. I understand that sometimes that's necessary, but I feel like they tried to use that way too much here. Also, the hitbacks for that's really weird, so you have to go on like the very side. Really interesting. Background, I think, could have been improved on as well. It's very similar to Ghost Warriors, where it's just kind of easy to die there because of the moving tiles. Other than that, like, the orange sections are pretty fine. I think the route can get a little iffy in the gray sections, such as right here. Specifically the first gem you'll see here. It's very interesting, especially for such a slow movement speed level. You have to do stuff like that, which is kind of insane. Otherwise, it's kind of fine. I think this level suffers just from its weird routing sometimes. That's pretty much all I have to say about it, though, because like I said, I'll talk more about deco later. But the level does catch itself at the end here. I think it improves a lot, and I think the third crown is just an awesome way to utilize the route switching mechanic right there, even though it's kind of brief. We'll talk about 2 levels that use the route switching mechanic much better, actually 3, in tomorrow's video. So look forward to that, I guess. Let's move on to our 30th place. Kicking off our top 30, we're moving to a much harder 5-star level than the last one, Phantom Thief. Soundtrack is probably one of my favorites, honestly, of 2024. It's a really fun one, and it really fits the theme. This really feels like you're trying to, like, rob someone, and, like, the obstacles really fit this level. Totally do. It's not as good as Foggy City, which is this level's bonus, but I still do like it a lot. It is A tier because I think sometimes the route is a little too hard to read, especially right here. It's just really weird. And it has some gameplay mechanics that I'm not necessarily that fond of, such as... Hold on, it's coming. This. Please don't scar me from Naval Battle. It also has a really just insane crowns. And when I say insane, I do not mean hard, because one of them is incredibly, insanely easy. And it's actually this one that is coming up at the end of this section. It's just too easy. It feels very unbalanced throughout the entire level in that term of, like, routing, especially the end is just really hard for some reason when the rest of the level is, like, decently challenging. Like, maybe the Wizard of Oz level hard, but then they just crank up the difficulty at the end for no reason, that feels like. Still, love the deco, love the soundtrack. There's just this awesome aesthetic that this level does have. So I think that 30th place in A tier is very fair. And initially I wasn't so fond of the gray theme, but now that Foggy City's come out, I feel like it does play a pivotal role in these 2 levels. More Foggy City than this level, but still. Yeah, right here is where I feel like the difficulty just gets ramped up to 11 for some reason. Especially with this last crown. I just want you to look at this. And I'm sure most of you know, like, what this crown is, but it's just insanely difficult for some reason. And then the soundtrack ends pretty fun. Nice. It's a decently fun level. It's good, but it's definitely not S tier material, so that's why it's in 30th place here. In 29th place, we have Egypt. This level started a Scarab level themed trend, and I'm actually kind of okay with it, even though I think of all of the Scarab themed levels, even including fan-mades. This is probably my second favorite, only behind Pharaoh. It's a really fun level. It has a good soundtrack. It's definitely a 5-star, not a 4-star like it was initially rated for any of y'all OGs, if you remember that. And the soundtrack really does just fit the Egyptian theme, and I am totally okay with that. As for this level's route, it introduced the pads that like create the route in front of you, as you'll see right here, the green thing. I'd introduce these, which is fine, honestly. You just kind of have to memorize what's going to spawn there. It's used for every crown, which is good. It's a gimmick. As for why I think it's better in Phantom Thief, or in other levels as it can before it, it just has a more fun route, and it's kind of held up pretty well today compared to some other older levels that I could think of, like Poker, in my opinion, which has not held up that well today. This one still does pretty well. And the music, like, build up there is really good, and then it gets to this section where you feel like you're enclosed off with these walls that you really never actually hit. You shouldn't, because I don't know why you're hitting those. If you are, they're off screen. Or I'm pretty sure like you can't even hit them they're not in like the 5x5 tile range. This crown is a little weird, I'll admit. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for this level, because after this it's just kind of like boringish to the end. So I feel like 29th place and mid A tier, probably on the lower side, is pretty accurate for this level. Going back to the really hard levels, we have Happy, which this might be a little controversial placement, but this level came out with a skin, which I think was just such an awesome skin, honestly, really funny. The Happy skin, and it's kind of a meme now with all the April Fool's Day levels. We will be covering one in this video, actually, so I'll talk more about that later. But as for this level, it introduced this mechanic, which is kind of cool. It's nothing revolutionary. I wouldn't even really call it a mechanic, since it's really only used in this level and Rainbow Castle. It's bonus, which makes sense. It doesn't really fit anywhere else. Great soundtrack, really does fit with the level. As for Happy, I don't know if this level really represents happiness, more of Fairy Tale. It reminds me of Fairy Tale and Relics, to be honest. I honestly prefer Relics to this one a little bit. However, I prefer Rainbow Castle to Fairy Tale, so it kind of goes hand in hand, to be honest. I think they're all really good levels. All of them are A tier in my opinion, so Fairy Tale might be like high B tier, but it's like on the border there as well. So honestly, just really good 4 sets of levels. As for why it's so low in A tier, is because I feel like this level has nothing to do with happiness, especially the fact that it's rated a 6-star on the wiki, even like normal way, just like Pipeline. So I don't understand like why this level would be about happiness. I feel like if you're gonna make a level like that, it should be probably a 4-star, not a 6-star. The reason it's in this video is because it's rated a 5-star on the level page, just like Pipeline here. But yeah, other than that, it's really fine. Deco is really awesome and all of that. It's just don't think that the theming worked here. In 27th place, we have our only fan-made in today's video, and for the rest of this list. You won't even see one in tomorrow's, because this is the only 5-star one left. We have the Breezy Summer. Now, if you guys saw my accidentally released deeper dive video, whoops, YouTube screwed me there. You'll know that I don't like the ending of this level, but everything else is fine. Like, I actually had this in S tier before moving it down because of the ending. Like, everything else is honestly really good. There's only 2 flaws with this level. Obviously, the ending, and then the decoration is Sunset Glow themed, which I think is just overused at this point. However, I will give this one a little bit of a pass because I think it uses it the best of any levels. Even Sunset Glow, I think this uses it better than Sunset Glow and Morning Dawn. So I will give it a pass there, to be honest. And they improved on the fan-made. That crown right there is nothing like what it is in Professional Block, which I'm so glad they changed it. I like this version so much better, which is good. Let's not even, like, the soundtrack is just awesome. I forgot to talk about the amazing soundtrack. Definitely a highlight of this level for me, to be honest. That with the route, except the ending. The ending. Like, you guys might not know this, but I'll say it. I have to refilm this video, so I was just talking a lot about the ending. I was like, this is good, except the ending. This is good, except the ending in the last one. The first time I filmed it, so I'm trying to avoid that, but I mean, I just like everything about this level is so awesome except the ending. It's just how I feel here. So I want to get to like 80% to showcase what's so bad about the ending. Even this crown is fun with the invisibility, I'd say, because I could kind of tell what I'm doing. I know that's probably hard for a lot of new players, although you should not be playing this level if you're a new player. Right after this invisibility ends, I'd say the level gets pretty bad. Right here. Yeah, right here. I never go for this crown. Oh, and I just did accidentally. Okay, I never go for that crown normally. 2, 3, let's go. Sorry. I never go for this crown because it's just way too challenging to get while invisible, and it's just not fun, honestly. And yeah, from here on, there's just some horrible routing choices made. You just die if you go that way. What the hell is this? Honestly, that's not a 5-star thing to put in your level. We have horrible decisions here where if you don't go the right way, you just die. Like right there, I died there in yesterday's. Oh yeah, and that too. I didn't even make it that far. So yeah, everything except the ending is just really good here, but literally the rest of the level is fine. But the ending literally drags this for all the way from S tier, probably 15th place, all the way to 27th place. So sorry, ending. Our first and not even close to our last co-creation level of this list, we have Fruity Paradise. We will be seeing around 5 co-creation levels in a row, just so you know. This level was in higher A tier for me when it came out. It was never an S tier, but I've moved it down since because I do think that the routing is just meh. Other than that, the deco is pretty fun, honestly, I'd say. And I do like the blue and pink themes. Not really the green theme, so I'm glad that didn't really get a bonus. People were saying like something called Meowing Paradise is gonna happen. First of all, why would it be called that? But second of all, I don't really need that in my life. We already have Sugarfall, which is significantly worse than its main level, so I don't even need that in my life. Also, let's talk about the soundtrack, because I think it's actually pretty good. It's definitely one of my favorites, which is kind of why I was upset when Sugarfall kind of just did Fruity Paradise Remix, which we didn't need at all. So that's why I like the April Fool's Day one better. This is like much better. Here's where I think the route starts to fall off a little bit. First of all, you can miss that crown. Yep, I just missed that crown. And I think that's dumb. I think you shouldn't be able to do that. Call it a skill issue all you want, but that's just my opinion. And then we just have a random gem, like one random gem there. I don't understand it. That's fine. It's kind of in sync with the music, whatever. And then the level just kind of starts to fall off from here, especially in the green theme at the end. We have this build-up, which is fine, and then green theme. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this level. For being kind of boring route-wise, but pretty vibrant in every other aspect, this level is pretty deserving of 26th place. In 25th place, we have our funky music leader of Season 2, the beginning level, Starlight Desert. Kind of a disappointing concept, to be honest. I like the concept. I don't like the decoration here. We have a lot of desert levels, I understand, but this decoration really doesn't have anything to do with the desert, and if it does, it just feels kind of stale. No hate towards the artist of this. It's honestly really good, and I don't provide hate towards any of the co-creation artists. I think all of the co-creation decoration is just so... It's good. This just doesn't really fit with the theme, in my opinion. And there's only one level that I'll purposely hate on the creator for, and that's the basketball. So, oh, well, I don't need to keep going, honestly. There's not too much to talk about for this level. Other than the music just being really awesome, the routing is actually probably one of the better for the co-creation Season 2 levels, especially for the starting one. And I do prefer this level to its bonus as well, even though I like the blue theme better. There's just some deco, and I feel like the theme's kind of generic as well, so I think that 25th place, and like it's actually pretty high A tier, is pretty well warranted for this level. This is 100% going to be my most controversial opinion probably in this entire series. In 24th place, we have Spring Festival. Hear me out, guys. Hear me out. It's not that bad. Normally in my co-creation levels, when I do a controversial pick like Hub or Emerald City, I'll have at least one commenter that says that, like, they agree with me. When I did this level in a deeper dive, nobody agreed with me. They all said it was like C tier or something. And I just don't understand. I've always liked this level, especially for a cheatable one. Sure, there's a lot of random jump pads, but I wouldn't say there's a lot of randomness anywhere else, even though there's some random gems. It sticks to that random gimmick. Unlike in Lost City or Alone 2, or sometimes even the Spectre, where they just have it kind of scattered around the entire level instead of just using it the entire time. Which I think if you're going to use randomness as a gimmick, you should just use it the entire level. This level does just that and pretty much sticks to random jump pads the entire time. It even uses them to get every one of their crowns, which I think is an awesome idea, which they kind of rebranded to use for some gems, like in Revival, if you know the gem I'm talking about. I love this level. I will stand up for this level. We need more of this black and yellow theme as well, because it honestly looks so cool, and I'm very, very excited when this level will get a bonus. And the soundtrack, awesome as well. Sure, it's one of the longest in the game, but I don't really care, because that just gives us more chance to like see what they do with the gimmick. Sure, they don't do much unique with it, but it's kind of fun to just be bouncing around on the pads and stuff. And I feel like it's just so sad for me that I have to be defending this level, because I've always liked this since day one. I think I put it in B tier, but I did move it up to A tier eventually, because I realized it's just a really fun and good level to play. I never dread going back to this level. The only thing I dread is having to watch an ad to unlock it, and I accidentally just unlocked it before coming into this level. So, yeah, whoops, I only have 14 keys left. Soon enough, I'm going to have to restart my progress and not spend keys accidentally, because I spent that on like 3 levels accidentally, so I lost like 18 keys. Oh well. I do understand why this level is 6 keys, though. It does have a good reason as well, it being like kind of a celebration level, so that is understandable to me. But yeah, I'm a supporter of this level, day one supporter, honestly. I don't understand the hate. Going all the way back to a Season 1 co-creation level. In 23rd place, we had Musical Theater. As a music kid myself, I do love all these music-themed levels. And this one does not disappoint, in my opinion. It's very high up there in the A tier. It's a little long, which I think does bring it down. I know I advocate for longer levels because like it's way too short, which you'll see later in this video. But I do think that this level is just kind of long, and I feel like it's too long, especially because it's really annoying. It's way too easy to die, and it's just really annoying to have to go back and perfect it as well. So that's my main complaint for this level. Other than that, it has really good obstacles. It kind of feels like a Deadly Orchestra, which is, honestly, if that's what they're going for, it works really well, honestly. I do really love how they use the mirrors here, or whatever that obstacle is supposed to be, because it really just works in this section. And they even have the partners dancing, too. I really love that obstacle. It's really cute, because they go for, like, an orchestra theme. Kind of like a cute little theater orchestra thing. But then they kind of turn it deadly, especially with the soundtrack. Like, over here, it gets kind of crazy with all the tiles and stuff. There's even a lot of diagonal tile movement happening here, which I'm totally fine with. Especially considering it's one of the harder 5 stars. So I feel like it's pretty justifiable in that aspect. And then here it gets kind of calm in this theme. I just love how the music syncs to the theme. And this level is one of the unique ones in the fact that, sure, it's a co-creation level. The devs decided to implement one of their own unique gameplay aspects into this level right around here. And I'll just show you what it is without saying, because I'm sure a lot of you guys know what I'm about to do. It's right here. So yeah, you could do that and you get a secret gem. It's really cool, honestly. And instead of you getting 11 gems, that is just your 10th gem, because there is another one on that path if you go the normal way. So I think that's really cool, honestly. It would be really cool if eventually they did like an 11th gem kind of thing to see, hey, I got an Easter egg, which would be awesome, honestly. That crown is really fun. I really like it. And this part's just really fun with all the diagonal tiles. You have to like constantly be swiping. It just really works with the chaosness of this level, if you could say that. I do not like this crown, though. It's so stupid. It's so unclear what to do. But yeah, for its longness and some weird rounding issues, this level does get A tier, but in 23rd place. But that's still fine, honestly. Up next on this list, and also right next or right above Musical Theater on the tier list, anyway, is Newborn. A lot of these 5-star co-creation levels are like the top of A tier, so this is like really close to S tier. But the thing that annoys me about this level is it's way too swipe heavy. Like, I'll show you what I mean by that, especially with the second crown. Actually, you can kind of see it right now. It's just way too swipe heavy for a level like this. However, this is the closest that we're gonna get to a Christmas level, because Minimax stopped making those. But I did this in my first thing. I was hoping to see people comment it, so I'm just gonna say it again. Comment #BringBackChristmas levels, and there will be 2 more hashtags for you guys to comment in tomorrow's video as well, because because I just want to bring that back, because when I initially recorded it, I was kind of excited about that, and I just got into a little rant about how it was stupid that they stopped making Christmas levels. This is kind of the closest that we got, because a lot of the obstacles are Christmas themed here. I don't know if that was the point, but that's kind of what I got out of this level, so that's kind of why I like breaking a lot. Also, well, there's a lot of reasons I like breaking. You can go watch that deeper dive if you want. It's in the 70s. And the music sync here is really cool too. But here is where I think the level starts to take a turn for the worse, especially with its routing more. It just gets way too swipe heavy, especially for a 5-star like this. It's kind of on the slower side, like mechanical power, except it's a little faster. And right here, this crown. Yeah, I can never get this. I kid you guys not, I died there 5 times in yesterday's recording when I was filming that. So I'm not even going to try to revive. You get the point. It's really solid level. I just think that A, breaking is better, and B, there just could be better things. But still, comment hashtag bring back Christmas levels in all caps. In 21st place, we have our only error level in today's video, pipeline error. This is Luca's video, by the way. So this is one of the 2 error levels, April Fool's Day levels, where I actually think that this makes the level worse. I like the soundtrack of Pipeline even better, and I think that this is honestly just a total dud, honestly. I'd rather listen to the normal Pipeline soundtrack. Sure, there's some funny moments here, but the like metallic metal pipe meme soundtrack is just annoying. I've never been a fan of that soundtrack, so I personally am not a big fan of this April Fool's Day level, and it's probably my least favorite in terms of the soundtrack. However, the reason it is in high A tier is because it's Pipeline, so of course I have to take into account the obstacles and the routing and stuff, so it's gonna have to be high A tier, even though I really just like the soundtrack. In 20th place, we have Enchanted Lamp. Now, I've said in countless times that this is at like the very high of the A tier, and I think it's probably my 5th highest in the A tier right now, only behind Moonlit Night Movement, Error, Kaleidoscope, the 2 next ones coming. Oh, I guess this is my 6th favorite because Totem is my favorite. So yeah, just the 2 next ones in front of this, and then Kaleidoscope, Moonlit Night Movement, Error, and Totem. This level introduces the underground mechanic, which I think is an awesome thing. It's only been used in 5 levels. This level, Ginny, Foggy City, PNW V1, and Beach Harbor. And I think it just needs more representation because it's an awesome mechanic. That obstacle right there, the bead ring, is just really weird to me. I don't like its hitbox. I think its hitbox is kind of stupid because it looks like you're gonna hit it, but then you go through it, which is just dumb to me, and I never personally liked it. Another thing about this level is I just don't understand the obstacles. I don't know if there's any cultural significance about them. There probably is. I'm just not Muslim, guys. I've said that countless times. But you guys got your own level, and I'm very happy for you, considering us Christians had around like 8 levels already with the Christmas levels. So you guys get 2 actually, because Ginny. So yeah, I'm glad for you guys. Also, the thing about this level is around 64%. I think the route starts to fall off, but then it gets back on track near the end. Those are my only complaints for this level, and that's kind of the reason why it's still in A tier, and they kind of hold it out of S tier for me. In 19th place, falling out of the S tier. Oh, this hurts me, kind of. Nuclear energy. It's just another high-tech level, guys. I do like it more than biology labs still, but I can't just look over this. The soundtrack, it's really badass. It's still badass, and it will forever be badass. But I can't just skip over the fact that it's just kind of whatever. I don't need to play this any longer. It's just that high-tech level, and it has a good soundtrack. It really does. I do still love this level. I love it for everything it does before, but I just think it's not the best decoration-wise, and it's kind of like Lab Confidential, but better. However, it is still my 5th favorite of the A tier, so there's that. And it's only 1 spot behind the next one, which is my 4th favorite. That's the highest. So it's really close, but I just don't think I can keep it in the S tier anymore, and it does pain me a little bit. But you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? So let's move on to our top pick, I guess. In 18th place, we have Radiant Shadow. This is probably my favorite of the A tier 5 stars. My 4th place pick of A tier in general. Its bonus is 3rd place. Moon the Night Movement Error is 2nd, and Totem is probably my favorite of the A tier, as I said earlier. And this one just feels very tense. And I'm so okay with that. The soundtrack really just does help, because FF777 soundtracks just do that, you know? Kind of have that effect on whatever they want the level to do, and they could just kind of base it around that, which I do love. I love that. Not the biggest fan of the red theme, but that's definitely not holding it out of A or S tier. What's holding it out of S tier is the fact that, say it with me in 3, 2, 1. It's way too short. Yeah, that's the title of its deeper dive thumbnail. I'm just saying it. That's the only thing holding it back, legitimately. I think it's just a little too short. Oh, okay. As I was saying, I'm just really happy with how it turned out, especially because when going into this level, when it came out, I had really low expectations, if I'm going to be honest. I was not really that excited for it, and it turned out a lot better than I expected, especially because it just seemed really short from its soundtrack. And I wasn't even the biggest fan of the soundtrack, to be honest. But yeah, it turned out really well. And like I said, the only thing holding it back is just way too short. Oh, okay. I'm playing in the low light, so it's really hard to see this dark stuff. But yeah, that crown right there is just such an amazing idea. Even though it's really easy, you just go straight the entire time. It's just really fun to watch. I'll show you guys if I can get back there. Yeah, this is just really fun. Bouncing through the portals onto the 2nd floor, back onto the 1st floor, then the diagonal tiles at the end. It's just so fun. But what's even more fun than that crown is the 3rd crown. And right here, this level kicks it up to 11. Yeah, this is the 3rd crown. All of this is for the 3rd crown. That's insane, doesn't it? It's so fun. I mean, I'm sure for a new player, that's like hell. But hell, I don't care. You know, it's just so fun. And the only thing, like I said, the only thing holding it out of S tier is that it's just too short. Other than that, this level does everything right, especially with the animated themes. You could kind of see in the background all the lights and stuff. It's just so cool, and I feel like it's very deserving of 18th place here. And ending off this video, but that's going to do it for today's episode, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow for part 3. It should be out around 7 Eastern, not Eastern, 7 Central, so do the math on where that's going to be for you guys. But hope you guys look forward to it. I'm sure you guys can expect what my number 1 pick is, but I'll see you guys tomorrow.